your play that night, and he goes, I think this was the season high. He goes, yeah, it was a season high. I think that surprised everybody that this was continued as your season high. You surprised that you haven't had more shot opportunities, more high output?
Uh, Not necessarily. I mean, early in the season, uh, it's always hard to tell kind of how things are going to break out. But the pattern of our team has just been that way. Been right around, I'd say probably six or so shot opportunities per game, and so it's been tough to have the consistency I would like to have in terms of percentage. But tonight I just wanted to kind of get back to just focusing on taking advantage of the opportunities that were there. I think I've been thinking a lot about trying to direct and make sure we're running our offense and doing the things that I need to do for everybody else. And wanted to get back to doing some things for myself, and it worked well early.
Is that because you guys are playing Oklahoma Thunder team that you guys had difficult with last year in the playoffs, or was it just that time of the year?
Yeah, no, it was just the timing. The way we've been playing, the way I've been playing. Coming off of the loss yesterday, where I felt like there were some shots that I missed that were to be frank, easy shots, and because I haven't really been thinking about scoring and looking at the basket. It's been difficult, but tonight I just wanted to reestablish a particular mindset, and not because of this team or this particular matchup. It was just something that was really bothering me after losing that game last night, and something I wanted to do today.
Do you sense that because you haven't been shooting particularly well last while, that teams are giving you more than they might have in the past?
I'm not sure. I can't really say that I've had a ton of just good open looks. I mean, like I said, I've been in that 6 to 7 shots per game range, and playing 30 minutes for the most part. It's a lot of times long stretches between shots, so it's been tough to have some rhythm. But I wouldn't venture to guess or bet that the strategy is to leave me open. I wouldn't bet that at all. But that's, I guess you can ask coaches and other teams.
The team last year was, and I guess always, coaching staff's always looking for guys to take charges, talking about it. And you took one tonight, breaking up a fast break, and it's kind of, that's one of their strengths. Was that something you think about before the game as well, thinking about, opportunities to take charges?
Well, I kind of grew up on doing those things. That's just kind of the way I've always played basketball, and playing defense and taking charges and doing whatever it takes out there to win. So, I think as a team we've tried to make a more concerted effort to get bodies in front of the basket, and we all have to be willing to lead by example. When there are certain things that we want to improve on as a team. So, even though it's not something that's a huge difference for me personally, I still want to be a guy that's going to help set the tone in that regard. Lamar took a couple last night.
Right.
So, if we can keep getting those numbers up, that'll really help us continue to become a better defensive team.
How much the deflections? What have you been doing this season to put yourself in a position to get those on a consistent basis?
I think just, as another year, in the league and continuing to understand, who we're playing against and matchups and, the way teams like to run their offense and, where they like to take advantage of the things that we're trying to do defensively. So, that's really been the key. I can't say, that physically per se, I've done a lot of different things I was doing last year, but, I just feel like I'm seeing the floor even better on the defensive end in terms of, reading and reacting to situations. And I'm definitely happy with, that part of my game. And, hopefully I can continue to do those things as well as, keep, being aggressive offensively and knocking down those perimeter shots.
These matters that you're talking about, the last couple answers, they all have to do with experience, and both with yourself and the team in general. How much does that come into countering a team like Oklahoma City that's so athletic and so quick?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, I think it was the difference, in us advancing past them in the first round in the playoffs last season, and I think it's something that will bode well for us. Against every team we face. There are very few teams, with the exception of maybe the Celtics, I could think of that, experience-wise, even come close to matching up in terms of having a number of really solid veteran players on that roster. And, it makes a huge difference. What you can't do in speed or athleticism or quickness. Having been through the battles and the experiences and the adversity and the situations. It helps you to keep the type of composure and poise that you need to win big games. And, it's something that's worked well for us the last few years.
Is there an example of that, the way he's able to play defense against Durant? I mean, in the playoffs and tonight, it seems like Durant's had to take an awful lot of shots to get his points.
Ron's is one of the best ever, defensively. And, I don't think you do what he's done in his career defensively without, continuing to take advantage of your experience and playing against these guys. And so, since he's joined our team and, year after year now, being on a team that's going to go deep into the playoffs and into the postseason, and you get a chance to play against guys like Kevin Durant, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in the season, when you're as good a defensive player as Ron, that's going to help you, no question. And, it's our job behind him, to make sure we're supporting him in the right way so that he can play the type of defense he needs to play, but, still be a good team defensively.
You guys have had some many hurdles lately between injuries and some losses. That's an area that you guys have always been very comfortable with, dealing with distractions. Is it possible that can sort of jolt you guys back into an area of focus because it is so familiar? It seemed like things were so quiet early on at the start of the season.
Yeah, no, it was very quiet, and we liked it that way for the most part. But yeah, I do think, because of where we've been, in terms of our coaching staff and a lot of our veteran players, you're going to find it difficult at times to, be at a 10 level, for 120 games in a season. And that's challenging. You go through the injuries, you go through the ups and downs, but, we found ways to figure it out the last couple of years, and that's what we'll need to continue to do this year.
Even to the opposite point, do you think that you guys maybe need or want those kinds of distractions that go on?
I think we do need, not necessarily distraction, but, we need things. We need adversity. We need ups and downs. That's really where true growth takes place, is during struggles and adverse situations. And that goes for individuals as well as groups. And so, as a team, after tough losses or a bad stretch, you're forced to look in the mirror. You have to question some things. Are we doing the right things offensively and defensively? And, without that, you never ask yourself those tough questions. And, I think we've done a good job the last few years at it, and hopefully we can continue to do that as we get into the second half of this season.